Apprehend God in all things, for God is in all things. Every single creature is filled with God and is a book about God. Amen. I'm not sure if you know this or not. Some of you do, but this past week we had a vacation Bible school. A bunch of little kids running around, and thank you to all of you who helped with that. Especially thank you to all the middle school and high school kids who came out and helped with that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it was a great time. And before each evening started with their program, everybody would have dinner, and dinner in the Great Hall. Had a variety of things, and one night it was a sandwich night. Had a sandwich night. And I was sitting at a table, and this little girl was just like so into her sandwich. It was like the best thing in the world, or almost the best thing in the world. Because I said to her, "So, how do you like your sandwich?" Because she was just like beaming about the sandwich. And she said, "Well, this is good, but it would be better if I had some mustard." And then I knew she was going to say it. I knew she was going to say this, and I was like cringing because I knew she was going to say it. She said, "It would be better if I had some mustard or mayonnaise." Mayonnaise. Just the word makes me retch. I hate mayonnaise. I hate it with a bloody passion. I hate it. I think it's the worst thing ever invented. It's disgusting. And so the sick, that's not even the sick thing. That's not even sick. The sick thing is I think less of people who put it on stuff. So when she said mayonnaise, I was like, oh God, it's just a little girl, and I was ready to condemn her to hell, So I went and got her some mustard. I can handle mustard. I like mustard. But that's how fickle what I like and dislike is. I thought about this some more. Because really that is how fickle what I like and what I dislike can be in my life. And it goes way past condiments. It can be like everything. Like, dislike. I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like that. Anything you can think of can fall into those categories. And the troubling thing is when I let the likes and dislikes then evolve into good and bad. And then it becomes so easy for me to just split up the world into what's good and what's bad, what I like and what I don't like, and just go about living my life that way. And so the gospel is something that I really need for today. Today's gospel. I really need this when I'm in this place of like, dislike, splitting the world up into good and bad. Because in the gospel, Jesus basically, what I hear him just saying right out, directly to me, is, Thom, now, you realize your likes and dislikes have more to say about you than about the thing itself. My likes and dislikes have more to say about me than whatever it is I like or dislike. Mayonnaise is just mayonnaise. Right? It is what it is. That I dislike it so passionately has something to say about me, not it. And like I said, and what it gets worse is if I end up turning mustard into good and mayonnaise into bad. Right? Because the gospel takes it further. Takes this whole thing further. Jesus says, if you don't want to be judged, and you don't like judgment, then don't judge, even yourself. If you think the world is too condemning, then don't condemn, even yourself. If you like forgiveness, and you wish there was more forgiveness in the world, forgive yourself, and then forgive. You do it. You do it. Don't wait for other people to do it. You do it. You become what it is you want to see the world be. Jesus tells us today. You become what it is you would like to see the world be. Don't wait for the world to change. Gandhi puts it this way: be the change you want to see in the world today. Be the change you want to see in the world. You see, from Jesus all the way down to Gandhi and everything in between, this is ancient spiritual wisdom passed on to us for our lives, for a way to live life. You become the change you want to see in the world. Don't demand that somebody else be what you think they ought to be. If you look on the back part of your bulletin, the second to the last, not the back, but the second to the last page, you'll see a list of things. And this is how what I'm talking about, how it can work out practically in your life every day. And it comes from this book called The Naked Now by a guy named Richard Rohr. And Richard Rohr is a Franciscan monk he's just a brilliant writer. I really love him. And he says things like, okay, taking what I'm talking about, what Jesus is talking about, he says, if you want to be more loving, if you want others to be more loving, choose to love first. Start with you. If the world seems desperate, let go of your own despair. Start with you. And this last one I want you to look at is really important. Really important to me anyway. If you want to find God, then honor God within you, and you will always see God beyond you. For it is only God in you who knows where and how to look for God. You see, the reason I like that one so much is because religion it's so easy for a religion to become one more way to split up the world. One more way to say, we're good, you're bad. We're right, you're wrong. We're superior, you're inferior. And it happens in Christianity, and it happens in Islam, and it happens in Judaism, and it happens in Buddhism, and it happens, and it happens, and it happens, and it happens. And the antidote to this happening is take a look at yourself first. And then look outside. See, now this whole judgment thing, now maybe it's just a occupational hazard, but it's really easy for me to fall into this, but I felt like it's been a part of my life since I was a kid, with this religious stuff. Because most of you know, some of you might not, my father's an Episcopal priest, so I was raised in the Episcopal Church. It's the lens that I've seen Christianity, through which I've seen Christianity my whole life. Okay? And the thing about being in the Episcopal Church is, if you're in the South especially, and if you're in South Florida, yeah, definitely, is nobody knows what you are anyway. Nobody has any idea what the Episcopal Church is anyway. They call you Episcopals or something like that. So that's a kind of a inferiority complex just waiting to happen right there. You know, I mean, I used to think, God, we must really be bad because nobody has any idea what an Episcopalian even is. And then the ones who did know what the Episcopal Church was all about when I was growing up, they would say things like, well, you're just not Christian anyway. You're one of those Episcopalians. Well, yeah, so there you go. So I when I was oftentimes, I think, man, we really must not be very good because we're small, nobody knows who we are, and the ones who do know who we are think we're not part of the deal. Okay, so then I went away to seminary, though, and did some other things and got information, which is always so helpful. And then I could be superior, you know? Well, they just don't know. Those people just don't know. They're just not enlightened. It's like the whole Episcopal Church is waiting for the world to get enlightened, and then they're going to pick us. I think it's so funny, but I fall into it all the time. It's this superiority thing. So I'm better than you. Ours is better than you. You're just too dumb to know that yet. It's what I like and what I dislike. What I like and what I dislike. And what the gospel says to me in that instance today is you're missing the whole point of religion. you're missing the whole thing. Religion isn't about external affiliation only. It's not about the group you're a part of. That's not it completely. Religion is about internal transformation. It's about a change of heart within me. So the gospel says to me, find that place, just like this last thing says to me, find that divine image that is within you first. Find that. And when I find that, then I can see it in other people, including people who have nothing to do with my religion. You get what I'm saying? The image of God is implanted within you. And when you find that, you'll see it everywhere. And in everybody. And then there's no need to fight about the split, about who's right or who's wrong. Okay, for me it looks like this. So my brother, when he was in college, he and a group of friends got invited over to another one of their friends' house for dinner. And this place where they were going for dinner, the family was, I'm not going to pick on any denomination, okay? So the family was a Southern Protestant denomination that was kind of life-denying. Meaning the way that they went about this whole Christian thing was, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. That way, you ever meet people like that? Fun guy, fun bunch. No. just a blast to be with. So he's going over to their house for dinner, and he was telling us about this in our family, and we were just giving him a hard time. Well, that's going to be fun. There you go. There's a way to spend an evening. Just really, it was funny. You had to be there. It was so much fun to be able to pick on him as the youngest. It was great. So he went to the dinner, and he came back afterwards, and I just couldn't wait to find out more about how terrible his evening was. So I thought, let's talk about this. Well, what happened? I said, what happened? And we were all standing there, my mom, my dad, my sister. And he said, well, the group of us showed up. We came to the dinner, and the father met us at the door, and we chit-chat, came in. And then the father said, well, my son tells me that you guys like to drink beer, that you enjoy a few beers every night, especially before you eat. And he said, we don't drink here. We don't do that. But what I did was I got a cooler, and I put it out back on the patio, and it's filled with beer. And he said, now, I'm not going to drink it. And he said, and I'd prefer that you don't bring it in the house. But I'll stand out there with you, and you're welcome to have as much as you want. And he said, because I want you to feel welcome in our home. So my brother made a beeline to the cooler. No, but the deal, you get the deal, right? You get the deal? Be the change you want to see in the world. Amen.